Thank you, Tom, and thank you, Rusty. And just want to say good evening to everybody. My name is Phoebe Suina, and also thank you for the opportunity to support this community on this issue and in the protection of our natural resources and our water resources here in New Mexico. And I'm learning a lot about this community, and I love to hear the stories of folks that have been here for generations and families, and also looking through some of the documents on the area, and so I'm learning a lot as well. But in general, what Mr. Nasco and Rusty shared is, you know, this is the layout of what we see. One thing that we don't see in this particular mapping is that the topography, right? So when things are higher, obviously gravity does its work, right? We can't fight gravity. So a lot of this is above grade, and when we have, you know, rivers and streams, normally those are below grade. So everything goes and like gravity goes into those rivers and streams. So one thing to note too is that we do, this particular river and stream is one of those that is, I would say from a hydrology standpoint, one of those essential surface waters of New Mexico. You know, comes off the mountains. It's maybe doesn't flow all the time at high flow, but it is one of those essential, I like to call this, if anybody's seen some of my discussions, is like the back of your hand. You have a whole bunch of rivers and streams and veins that then go into your bigger blood vessels that are necessary for the whole ecosystem to be balanced, right? So there's a whole interconnection between the surface waters and groundwater, which is the concern when you have, for example, here, a leach field that is so close in proximity to a surface water. Also, what we see throughout New Mexico and any river and stream is the groundwater, as I said, is very interconnected with the surface water. So you'll see shallow groundwater tables. So even if we have a leach field that's, you know, the close proximity to groundwater, and then again that transmission to the surface water becomes almost like a direct pipeline, right, to the surface. So again, what hazards, as I explained, is the very clear and straightforward interconnectivity between a leach field and the surface water, but as well as the groundwater. And this map, again, that Rusty and folks have created, it's very clear that there are other clear drinking water sources that are very close in proximity and may be directly affected by whatever gets inputted into a leach field. And again, this is a great graphic as well to demonstrate. As I said, on that one map, you couldn't see the terrain, but as we all know, if something's up here, gravity's gonna pull it down. So that's the other real, just straightforward analysis and reasonable conclusion when you have something going up, especially like if a groundwater input is put in, whoever is down below, you're getting your water from those wells that are down gradient from an input, it's gonna transmit and flow to your drinking water wells. This is just all public information. So from this location, all of this along the water source that we see on the surface are in direct kind of flow line, if I can use that term, to potential contamination migrating from the leach field. You know, a proposal still to do maybe secondary or tertiary, if that is, you know, gets to be more and more strict for this developer, there still has to be that understanding that there are some contaminants and inputs into the system that we still can't treat for. So that is what would then potentially, if there is a leach field, go into the leach field and then potentially into the drinking water. So again, understanding that, and even on a secondary and tertiary treatment system, just from my work over the decades, is there's a lot of operation and maintenance. As to what Mr. Nasco was saying earlier, is the inputs to a system have to also be very well managed and regulated. And so when you have it out of sight, out of mind, how do you enforce that? And that is, again, why